What's good, everybody? It's Roman here with the Reel Spiel podcast. We're back with another footy edition, football, soccer, however you want to say it. I know it's been a while since our last episode and all, but we're back. We're getting back to it. I've had to do a lot of different things in the career path-wise and, you know, make some strides in life, and podcast had to take a little bit of a hiatus, but we're going to get back to it. Want to welcome a new member to the podcast here. This is Jeremy, a.k.a. Jerm. Jerm, say what's up. Tell everybody what's good.
Up? Man, it's an honor to be here, man. It's a pleasure.
I'm glad to have you. Jerm is also in a similar route as me, you know, pursuing a career in sports and business and those kind of things and such. So I wanted to get him on. He's also, as you can see,
I see it. I love Madrid, man.
I mean, you guys, you know how y'all know how I run.
I don't know why I'm behind in front of this.
We need it though. The podcast needs it. It needs a little bit of what would you call it? A little bit of friendly banter. It needs some difference of opinions that are
clashing
guaranteed.
About ideologies, a little clash.
You know, we're gonna clash. We're gonna have different reasons why we feel different ways, and that's because we are rival fans.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be great. I have the highest respect for Real Madrid. They're the most prestigious club in the world and in history.
I got respect for them too.
Pains me to say that, but
I got respect for Barca because when I started watching football, they was the most prestigious club for that era.
Facts. Yeah, Barca, Madrid, probably the biggest rivalry in sports. We're gonna go into that one day though. I want to actually.
Yeah, we can
dive into like the different biggest rivalries, because I think there's a couple college football, but anything in America that's a rivalry within America couldn't touch Barca and Madrid. It just couldn't. You know, maybe how crazy they actually go. No, but even then, the streets of these cities when they win or lose it's chaotic, right?
Now, if you want to talk about crazy fans and rivalries in football, Boca Juniors and River Plate in Argentina.
Yes.
That's like a dangerous rivalry.
The South American rivalries are just as bad as I don't even think there's one in Europe that is close to Madrid and Borussia Dortmund and Bayern. Those fans, the fans don't like each other, but I know the teams have respect for each other, so it's weird. But they are a rivalry.
Mm-hmm. Celtics and Rangers.
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll figure them all out.
It's not gonna be the last episode we do.
We're back with the Reel Spiel footy. Me and Jerm. Raheem is not gone. Raheem will definitely be back. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Me and Jerm talked about it literally a couple days ago. Raheem's probably the busiest man I know, and
shout out
Raheem will definitely be back. Count on it. Try to get him back on for the next episode, for sure. I also need to try to learn how to Zoom. Like, there's some ways we could podcast from home and still make it one video. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, especially who knows what the future's gonna hold.
Yeah, but if we all get a setup, we might have to look into some, all of us just podcasting from our own setup and doing that in one video kind of a thing, which I know we can do. I think there's softwares that literally are made for that. Cause
probably Discord will work.
Yeah, Discord will do it. Let you do it a little bit as well. So we're gonna figure that out as well. Try to get some 3-person conversations going.
Now, who's your Raheem support?
Raheem is a Bayern Munich fan. That's his number one. And then I'm pretty sure either Sunderland or one of the other teams. They're in the who just dropped?
It was
Sunderland. Yeah. They just dropped.
Yeah.
So he's a Sunderland fan, I think. It's not Southampton. I don't think he's a Southampton fan, but they dropped 2 years ago. I want to say, or a few years. I don't remember.
It would have been cool to have Raheem because Champions League.
Yeah, I know. Raheem, I should have. I didn't ask him because I knew we were recording on a Sunday night, and I also just I guess that's unfair to Raheem. Raheem could have definitely been available at 11:53 on Sunday night to do this, but there's no telling, and I feel bad even asking somebody that busy to do something last minute when it's something he would technically want to say yes and feel bad about saying no. Just didn't even want to make that be a possibility. But because Raheem, he lives his life with, what's the word? Certainty. He likes to be precise about stuff. He's a very precise person. So I'm not gonna.
You gotta respect it.
Put a spur of the moment thing in his situation. But Raheem will be back. It'll be the three of us until someone else wants to join, and let us all banter and
talk footy
in front of the world. We're gonna just get into some things. Obviously, we've got a Real Madrid fan and a Barcelona fan here, and the state of La Liga right now is, well, it's interesting, I guess you could say. I don't think there's after the El Clasico, which we're going to talk about, there's no chance for Barca to really make any ground now. What a year Girona's having.
Right.
I didn't see that coming. I know that who's their coach? Girona's coach. He's
we gotta look it up. I know they're owned by the same group that's owned City.
His name is Miguel Angel Sanchez Munoz, known as Mikel. He used to play in Spain. He's played for a couple different teams. Rayo Vallecano, he also coached there, I want to say. He's only 48. He's got a modern philosophy. He's definitely much so positional, play. He likes to spread his teams out quick. They can play out of the back. They, try to kind of emulate Barca and Real Madrid in some ways. Very exciting year that they're having. They're having a better year than Barcelona.
They're going to be a Champions League team next year. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought they were like genuinely like a better team this year than Atletico?
And they was in the title race for way longer than people give them credit for.
Longer than we were in. You know what I mean?
They fell off towards the end of the season, which it's not surprising, but it's surprising that they was in it for so long.
Yeah. The same amount of time we were in it, really. Mm-hmm. But that's we never see that. It's always the three heavy hitters, and then usually like a Sevilla,
or
Valencia, Real Betis, Villarreal, those kind of teams that kind of always are in that 4 to 5 to 6 kind of range in past years. And Girona out of nowhere, you love to see it. We want that in Spain. We want, we hear and see the different people on Twitter and media talking about how
it's a 2-league team.
It's just a 2-league or 3-league team. It's not true. There's a lot of good, there's our mid-table teams
is knocking out English teams,
Italian
teams in the European competitions,
going further in the lower tournaments, Europa, all kinds of stuff.
Sevilla is like the Madrid of the Europa League.
Yeah, real talk. They've won a couple, but yeah, Girona's. We're going to talk La Liga. We're going to talk about. I'm going to let Jerm kind of give his take on the season Real Madrid's having, and I'm going to give my little, take monologue, however you guys want to look at it, on this season Barcelona's been having. Then we're going to break down what we've seen in the Champions League this year, who surprised us, who shocked us, who disappointed us, what players disappointed us, what players amazed us. We're going to go into that kind of thing, and then, obviously, Sunday night,
Champions
League's coming up. Tuesday, we've got a big matchup. Wednesday, we've got a big matchup. First leg of these games. I'm excited. Semifinal. I'm excited as one can be as a neutral, technically. But, yeah, we're going to get into all that. Give our predictions out. Kind of forces us to have to react to those. We got to react to our predictions before the next leg. So,
yes, sir.
Going to just force the consistency with some predictions, and also gives us maybe some TikTok content as well. You never know. We can clip out of this. Two good minds here, about to address some topics. So, Jerm, thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining me. This is the Reel Spiel podcast. This is our setup at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone down from 2 tables to 1. This is the second video, I want to say, with 1 table. So we'll have to just make it work. I'm trying to look at them as much as I can.
It's a nice setup, though.
It's not bad. For an at-home setup, you can't really beat it. You know what I mean? We sound good. We look good.
Getting the point across.
Facts. We've got all kinds of stuff to look at for you. But yeah, Jerm, I just want to talk about some different things here. So
let's do it.
Real Madrid, 84 points, top of the table. They took off in La Liga. You guys lost though.
I was just thinking about this earlier today. Our last loss in the league was back in September versus Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano.
Yeah, you haven't lost in the league
since then. Out of what,
I think
34 games played?
Yeah, I think that's the longest active streak in Europe right now, I want to say.
Nah, Bayern Leverkusen.
Oh, I'm tripping.
My God.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't even believe I even said that. We're going to get into that. That's what Bayer Leverkusen's doing right now is
It's some FIFA shit.
it's literally some FIFA. It's literally some FIFA. I can't believe that.
Shout out to them. Shout out Xabi Alonso. We
Shout
waiting
out
on
Xavi.
you. We waiting on you, Xabi. Come to Madrid.
It's not what I need. It's not what I need. It would be a crazy replacement for Ancelotti.
Mm-hmm.
But Bayer Leverkusen, let's get into that real quick before we jump into La Liga. What do you think of that?
Man, I was like, it's just like Girona. Like, I was getting the same vibes from them from the beginning of the season. Like, same with a couple years ago with RB Leipzig.
Yeah.
Like, there was a team staying near the top of the table for way longer than people give them credit for. And the fact that they got Xabi Alonso last year, and they was from almost, I want to say almost regulation side. And Xabi got him all the way to like top 8 in just a few short weeks, few short months. So now the fact that he got a summer transfer, he had to bring in his players that he wanted. He got to tour with the lineups, get some new players in, get some old players out. And I read that they was able to get all the number one like priority targets in the transfer window.
Really?
Like, they was able to get who they wanted. They didn't have to settle for nobody else.
In the summer and in the winter window?
I'm pretty sure it was just summer only.
So everybody he wanted to start the season off with, he got.
He ended up getting.
That's critical. That is critical to any kind of form of a rebuild, whether you're trying to stay at the top within your rebuild or if you're trying to, new coach, new philosophy, new culture, whatever it is. You have to be in a position where your manager can get the players he wants to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's you don't make enough money. I mean, that's usually the only reason that a manager can't, or if the team's in some kind of position where they can't buy players that isn't financial. That's usually based on financial situations, like Barcelona.
Having to sell players to just to break even.
There's just your team is a small market team, and players don't want to come play there. There's not like that is that's not really you're not going to go. Leverkusen isn't going to go get the biggest names in the world, right?
That's why I was kind of surprised when Alejandro Grimaldo signed with them, because
Grimaldo was a huge signing for
he's always rumored to go to a top European club.
Yeah, PSGs, the Barcelonas,
it was always Barca. That was the main one I was always hearing.
Yeah, Barca, we wanted him. We were trying to get him, He's from our academy, you know what I'm saying? Like we were trying to get him back because he, I think that's always the hope with players that Barca gets rid of, is that they go and do something that they find their way into improving back. Which you're not gonna always make it to Barca's first team. So, but yeah, Grimaldo was a huge pickup for them. I think
Frimpong, they're fullbacks.
Yeah,
their stats is crazy, like goals and assists.
Yeah, they're very much so a part of the attack.
Patrick Schick, Granit Xhaka. Shout out Granit Xhaka.
Schick, where was Schick at before?
I want to say
he was in Bundesliga.
Yeah, was it like Mönchengladbach? I think.
Was it? I thought it was like Schalke 04. Or,
it might be. He's an old school striker to me.
He is.
Like Fox in the box, man. Hold up plays great. Clutch in the Europa League this year. If y'all been watching,
I gotta figure out where. I gotta figure it out. He was just somewhere.
Shout out Bayern Leverkusen, Xavi getting the first Bundesliga title, I want to say, in history or in a long time.
It's gotta be.
They fans stormed the pitch right before the game ended. I can't pronounce his first name, but Witz.
Was it? It says he was on Leipzig.
Leipzig.
Was it?
He might be.
It was. I didn't think it was Leipzig. But yes, Bayer Leverkusen, for you all who don't know, they are unbeaten this season. 34 games played?
Nah, 45, 46.
No, in just Bundesliga, though.
Bundesliga, I want to say 34.
31 games played in Bundesliga.
They have a shortened season compared to everybody else. They only play like maybe 36 games.
Yeah.
Because there's only 18 teams in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, that's right.
So
they don't play 38 games like the regular top leagues do.
And if they did, it was probably going to go undefeated no matter what.
But they haven't lost in any competitions, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
They could do their version of a treble, unbeaten, like an unbeaten treble.
Yeah.
Because they're in the DFB Pokal final.
Yep.
Europa League semifinal.
Europa League semifinal. They're going up against AS Roma.
And so far unbeaten in Bundesliga.
Yep. They're going to win Bundesliga.
That's already confirmed.
It's not possible for Bayern Munich to catch them now, which was last game, like Bayern had to win out, right?
They
would have
win
had to
out.
slip
And
as of last game, which they didn't.
that's confirmed already. It's confirmed.
Yeah. They had what was their last game was a draw, 2-2.
2-2, and like look at
Stuttgart.
look at the time scored. They had like a 96-minute equalizer.
96-minute equalizer out of 98, I think. Plus
and the
minutes.
fact, like this has been a regular thing for them this year.
Yeah, they win it. They're serial winners this year. Bayer Leverkusen they're serial winners this year. It's amazing to watch. I will be watching every single game for the rest of their season this year. I want to see what they do in the Europa League. I think they're going to win it. They're the best team in it right now.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, Bayer Leverkusen, what a season! Hats off to them. I love it.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
I was kind of hoping like you want to see Marco Reus win a league in his. You want to see it,
especially what happened last year
on
the final day.
Final day when the last 2 weeks of the season, you're thinking you have a real great chance. Then before second to last game, you're thinking it's yours to lose, right?
Yeah, their destiny was in their hands. Final game of the season at home, you win the league.
Yeah,
I think they tied.
Yeah,
and
I think they got scored on in late. I don't remember. I have to look, but
feel for Marco Reus.
I always will. He's one of my favorite, no correlation to him at all kind of players. Or favorite Bundesliga players ever. Really, he's just I always liked the underdog, and he's always kind of been that. And shout out Marco Reus, but and then he still has a chance to technically
win a trophy.
Harry
Kane.
No, I'm saying
Marco Reus. I thought he was.
He's still in it. Like
he's still in it.
He's still in it. He's still in the Champions League. Borussia Dortmund's still in the Champions League. They play PSG in their first leg of the semifinal. Wednesday in Dortmund.
Let's look it up.
I want to say it's in Dortmund.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch.
The Atletico Madrid tie with them. What a tie! I mean, we're gonna go to Champions League second. Mm-hmm. We're trying to, get this.
As a Madrid fan, it was so pleasing to watch. And shout out MJ, man. You picking the wrong team to support. Arsenal and Atletico Madrid.
We'll have to get MJ on here. The four of us would be crazy. With Raheem, you two, me, that'd be dope. We'll do that. Everybody
got different teams to support.
Yeah. So Borussia Dortmund's they're in Dortmund for the first leg.
Oh, that stadium's gonna be rocking.
One of the craziest atmospheres in European football is definitely Borussia Dortmund. Their fans, they've got this yellow smoke. They've got the loudest. Seems like one of the loudest fan bases.
It's like that yellow wall right behind.
They have a wall behind the goal that's just everybody's in yellow. They hold yellow signs and there's yellow smoke blowing.
There's no seats. It's a standing section.
No, there's no seats. They all stand going crazy the entire time. Drums, just tubes,
the tifos, the little pitches be right before kickoff.
Yep. They these banners basically. Crazy atmosphere. It's at 3:00 Wednesday. If you have a chance, you should watch that. There's also a huge game Tuesday.
Real Madrid.
Talk about that.
Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich, the European Classico. It's going to be at the Allianz Arena in Germany, in Munich, on Tuesday.
3:00.
3:00.
If you got it, got work, got to pull your phone out, get on YouTube TV or Paramount, whatever you got.
We will be there. We will be seated. I'm gonna be at work watching this game.
We're gonna definitely have we'll probably try to react to that quick. Thursday, Friday, try to get a video out to you guys of just quick one about that. I'm excited. The Champions League has been very exciting this year. We got the farthest we have ever gotten without Lionel Messi since his departure. And it was in our hands. You had the absolute ideal first leg in Paris, right?
As a team that's always struggled, that's been known to struggle away from home in the Champions League in recent times.
Struggle bad. And
to win, to go in Paris and to take the early lead, concede 2 goals, and then still come back.
Get it back, yeah.
Get it back and win the game on the road. At the ideal start in the second leg.
Yeah, so we go up 1-0, and then we go down 2-1, and we win the game 3-2.
Yes, it won the game 3-2.
The ideal classic game. But what's more important is you leave Paris with a 1-goal lead on aggregate. So it's basically 1-0, however you want to look at that. The series is 1-0 if that's how you want to think about it. It's a 2-game series. Whoever has the most goals at the end wins. There's not, it's impossible to lose both and still advance, but it's based on goals. Meaning you can technically tie one game.
Tie the next game. And then still win in
PKs if that's what it is. The rules have changed, so it used to be based on away goals. Away goals used to count for 2, so we would have been up
basically 4-2.
4-2 on the aggregate before that. And it would have been a lot harder for them. But basically, we go back to Barcelona, the ideal start to the game, right?
PSG was putting pressure on you to start that game.
They were, but we were getting out of it. We were possessing the ball well. It was a 50-50 game. But
it was end to end.
End to end. It was not. We weren't controlling the game, but in terms of getting the first goal, the ideal. We got an early goal. Early, about what was it? 30th minute.
Not earlier than that.
27th. It wasn't that early. Or 18th. Yeah, it was early.
It was early.
I'm tripping.
Ideal start. Go up 2 goals. Then you at home.
Yeah, it was
home
early.
Support.
12th minute. Rafinha. Amazing goal. And then. Let me look at this here. The penalty.
What's his name? Penalty. What's his name? Got a red card.
But Araujo. So Bacola. I was trying to look up the guy who was dribbling. His name's Bacola. He's through on goal. So Araujo makes a mistake. So let me just take it back one more step. Luis Enrique is the coach for PSG. He's also the coach for Spain. He's a brilliant coach. He coached for Barcelona. He's coached Messi. He's won trophies with Barcelona and Messi, Neymar. You know what I mean? At that time frame,
won a treble with them.
Won a treble.
One of a few players to play for Madrid and Barcelona.
One of the very few. And I'm not soccer is different. Football is different. Because he coached at one point at Barcelona, that doesn't mean he completely knows everything about why we play the way we do right now, right? There's not a direct correlation to that with coaching changes in time frames of years. Different players, different everything from when, he understands things about the team and the back office. He understands all that, I'm sure, but nothing directly. It's just it's an even matchup. That doesn't impact anything. What he used to be to Barcelona doesn't impact this matchup directly. But a few of the players he coaches because he coaches Spain. I don't think any started in that first leg. I don't think
he coached Barcelona's coach.
Yeah, Xavi, our coach, Barcelona's current coach, played for Barcelona while Paris's coach was Barcelona's coach. So, they are great friends. They know each other, but that's besides the point. Basically, he's a great coach. Luis Enrique, brilliant coach. He's very much so like he is great at knowing what his team, it's going to sound cliche, needs to do versus another team. But I mean exactly his 11. If he can start a game, he can see what he's seeing on the other team's 11, the opposition 11, and can tactically tell his players what to do defensively based on what he's seeing from the other team. He's
great at making adjustments.
One of the best adjustment makers in Europe. And he did that. He did that to us 5 minutes into the game. 5 minutes into the game, the tactics for PSG defensively were pressure every single player who gets the ball hard except Ronald Araujo when we're in our build-up play. When Ronald Araujo got the ball in build-up play, he was allowed to do what he wanted to. He did not get pressed because that's who Luis Enrique wanted to try to be the first line of breaking the press. He's not great with his feet. Ronald Araujo is a huge, probably size 12, 13 foot. He's 6'3", huge legs. He's not agile. He is for his size and frame. He used to be a striker, right? He can jump in the air well and angle, move his body in angles and ways to get headers and stuff like that. But he's not some crazy good dribbler with his feet. He's not a great passer either. He's really not. He doesn't have a great long distance passing ability on the ground.
They'll live with him making decisions.
They'll live with him making decisions at half field with little small pocket windows to try to get a ball in between because that's the one person who's open because they are defending him at an angle. So the person closest to Ronald isn't pressing him. They're trying to cut off a passing lane, forcing him to do one direction, one way. And
surprisingly, that's what led up to for Barca's only goal of the game.
Yeah. So it is weird. Like that's how we scored, literally. His through ball.
They'll live and die by that game
we
plan.
lived by it. We scored like it, but he made a mistake in the 18th minute or 17th minute. Bad pass to the wing to Lamine Yamal. Lamine was not in a position to receive the way that pass came. Nuno Mendes he just stuck his foot out at it. The deflection was also a through ball to Bacola, who was running onto it. It was technically through on goal, 1-on-1 with the keepers.
Last man.
Leaves the last man. He was past the last man, so the goalie was the last man, technically. Ronald catches up to him. Boom, outside the box, red card. Up one.
Up one.
6 minutes after we scored.
Up one, now you're down a man.
We're down to 10 men.
Yeah, down the dude who got not the dude Araujo who got sent off is the one that they were allowed to have the ball,
and he's also the one player on the team who can guard Mbappe. I hate to say guard, but stay in front of, run with when Mbappe gets, he can't stop him. Mbappe's literally at that level where you can't really truly stop him. You can try to build a wall, try to always keep somebody in front of him, trying to not let him through, basically. And Araujo has had success at that. First leg, he had some good moments against him. This game already, he'd had shut down a couple Mbappe runs. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, he was the only one who could keep up with Mbappe in our defense because, Baldé's injured. That's a huge. I get that's our left back, but he's played right back. He plays right back against you guys when he's healthy because. He can stay in front of Vinicius. We didn't have him, and it's tough. We 40th minute, 54th minute, 61st minute, and the game was over. Like it was over though. At the red card,
mm-hmm.
At the red card, and you're down a man, and the momentum shifts. You really don't have a chance after that.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. They just picked us apart. That's all it took. You lose a bit of your. It's hard to get back into a game when you're down a man.
It's a momentum shift there.
It's a momentum shift. Our stadium was not into it like we would have wanted them to be. It was tough. It's tough to watch.
Speaking about the stadium, Barcelona, they're playing at. They're not playing at the usual stadium.
They're not playing at the Camp Nou. It's
under renovation.
I always forget how to pronounce.
It's a crazy name. I think it starts like an M.
It's like a big stadium in.
It's like Olympic Stadium.
Let's see what it's called. I always forget that. Estadio Olympic Luis Companys, the also known as the Montjuic. I don't know how to say it. The Montjuic Olympic Stadium. It's in Spain. Is
it in Barcelona still?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that if it was at the Camp Nou, new camp, I feel like it'd be a way different atmosphere, of course, because the crowd is literally like on top of the field.
Where we're playing now, it's one of those fields that has like there's a lot of space.
This I think is a running track.
Yeah.
Around the field,
a lot of space in between the players on the field. Like especially at the ends of the goals, it's huge. It's like you can't celebrate with the fans at this field type of a thing. You'd have to go run a minute to the crowd. But no excuses. We have fans there. They had a good turnout for that stadium, and they didn't get the job done.
Blew it.
It's one of those moments where with the 1-goal lead, giving up a goal there is better than going down a man because we had the goal lead on aggregate. So we were up 2 on aggregate.
Now you go from up 2
back down to 1. Like how the game just started.
And with less time.
If he scores, caught up. You caught up. I get you were the last man back, but you caught up.
It wasn't.
You could have forced a difficult shot there. You could have gave Ter Stegen a chance.
It wasn't a guaranteed goal.
It was not a guaranteed goal, which is why he's the last man back. He's always going to be a red card 10 times out of 10. But that I wish there was some parameters in the middle to where if you're that far outside of the middle of these parameters,
it could be like a yellow card.
It could be a yellow at least because he caught up and he wasn't able to shoot. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't like a bad foul. He caught up
before he even made it into the box. You know, it was just simple that he was the last man back. But Barcelona's season is officially nothing to play for, nothing to win for, which is depressing.
Trophies.
You know, it's at least you get to May with nothing to win for. It's been better than in the past when you know that there's nothing to play for in April. But we won the league last year. You know what I mean? It's just you can't ask for. We won a trophy. We won the
Spanish Super Cup last year.
Spanish Super Cup and the league.
And the Liga.
That's 2 trophies.
In Xavi's first full year.
In Xavi's first full season where he got to have the whole summer transfer window. Xavi's first year, he inherited the job midway through the season. So his first full year, where a full, July to July, he won the league. On top of that, we had the best defense across Europe. The best defense in Barcelona history in terms of goals conceded. 8 goals on the year or 7 goals on the year. I think it was 5 in La Liga. Like something crazy. Like we conceded less than 10 goals. You know what I mean?
It was a crazy stretch of 1-0 victories for y'all in the league.
Yes. A few comeback victories in a row.
But now compared to this year,
plane going over, they can hear it perfectly.
Plane.
Yeah, it's. I always just say something. Yep, there's the plane. It's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown Louisville for you.
Safe flight. Have a safe flight. But from the best defense in the league last year, or across Europe last year, to now go compared to this year, where you feel like any team that's on the attack really has a good chance of scoring.
Yeah, you're never comfortable all season long.
It's like if Barca want to win a game, it's got to be that shootout.
Yeah, we gotta, or like the only games we felt comfortable wins this year were when we scored in the first few minutes of the game and then got a second before the other team, before we conceded. It's like the only way we can win nowadays, and it's tough, but it's part of it. Jerm, I want to give the floor to you a little bit. If you want to try to, tell me why you guys are gonna get this.
To be honest, I was optimistic about the season, but the fact that we came into the league without a striker starting.
Yeah.
Without a number 9.
Joselu
He was a loanee signing from Espanyol last year. He had a good season last year. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but it's not Real Madrid quality.
No.
He's not a starter. We're literally starting. Our starting 11 has no striker. We have Jude up top, Jude Bellingham playing that 8 to 10 role, pushing up, making runs in behind.
Sometimes is a 6.
Right. He's everywhere.
They interchange that midfield can interchange because they're all on the same page.
But to start off this season with no recognized striker up top, and really only person scoring goals was Jude Bellingham to start the season. Like Rodrigo and Vinicius, they caught form. They're in form. Caught fire now. The business end of the season, which is great, but it was not scoring towards the beginning. It was literally when's Jude going to score for us? When he's going to win the game for us?
Yeah.
And the fact that now with the goals not coming in as much, or it's like just waiting on one man to score the goals. It was kind of like Ronaldo-esque. It's kind of Ronaldo-esque because they was like the stats to start the season. They was comparing Jude, who's a midfielder, to one of the best goal scorers in history for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
he had like 5 goals in the first 6 games.
They were keeping a counter with every other, top scorer in the league, which are all strikers in La Liga. You know,
and he basically won us the league that first half of the season. Ever since the second half, like after the winter transfer window, he's cooled down in goals, but it goes into like how the team's set up now, because he's usually camping on that left side of the field on defense, and like that's where he's roaming at. He's not roaming, but he's not like making the same runs that he did to start the season, because now we got Vinny and Rodrigo scoring goals for us. So to begin the season, I was hoping he was going to win the league, but I was not expecting this type of season to where the league's virtually wrapped up.
Yeah, I wasn't either. When you start, like, even through the wins in the beginning of the season, you didn't feel comfortable about that play style sustaining all year long.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
They're winning 2-1 at the end of a game in the 90th minute, 1-0 wins, 2-1 wins, or and it's Jude Bellingham at the right place, right time, right place, right time, right. I'm not even going to call him tap-ins, because it's not like
you got to run to the ball.
He's a midfielder. He's he's placing himself in the right area of the field. It's not like he's getting crosses sent into him perfectly 10 times a game, like, past attackers for Real Madrid, or even current attackers get, like everybody knows Modric, how like
he was supposed to come in.
Some of the midfielders, they linger outside of the box, and they're some of the best crossers in the world, going in sending in crosses to Madrid, Rodrigo and Vinny.
And another thing, right before the season started, Thibaut Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, tore his ACL.
Tears ACL, yeah.
First game of the season.
That's the best goalie in the world.
Eder Militao, first game of the season, tears his ACL. So our
best
defender, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, out for the whole season. It felt like at the time with torn ACLs.
Yeah.
So now since it was so late into the transfer window, we didn't sign no defenders to replace them. So for majority of the season, we only ran 3 center backs. And the fact that we had to put Aurelien Tchouameni in center back just to like get us towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
And he's a defensive midfielder.
You got a few different guys playing out of position towards the end of the year.
Right. Camavinga, who stated he doesn't like playing left back. But when he plays left back, he's like damn near one of the best for like that time frame. Like those few weeks of the season, he's one of the best left backs. And then towards the middle of the season, David Alaba, he tore his ACL. So that was another starting center back tearing his ACL.
And Alaba was more of their like guaranteed good ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Militao is kind of like, you don't really want Militao sending long balls diagonal to Vinny on the,
Yeah. We wasn't going to.
Alaba was that, he could pass at the elite level of midfielders, and he could dribble up like, he has an elite touch, elite close control for someone in his position.
He's a football player.
He used to play left back, you know what I mean? Like,
and for his national team,
Bayern Munich, he was
he was a left back for Bayern Munich, and for his national team, he plays midfield. He don't even play. He don't play center back.
Germany, he's a midfielder. Exactly, great point.
And to the fact that we don't have a striker.
Carvajal's washed too. Like, you guys had reason to play three center back, and Carvajal, you couldn't count on him every against big teams, against super fast wingers. You know what I mean?
He's getting up there in age.
Yeah, but I commend him for still. He's the last of your old guard, really, with him and Modric and Toni Kroos, I guess, still there as well.
But the fact that we got a comfortable lead on the league title is we're only 4 points away from winning the league because it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah,
and it's 4 points if Barca lose their next game. I think it's 7 points on our own. It's only 5 games left.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, it's a great season with all the injuries, all the key injuries to key players, playing players out of position, not having a striker for majority of the season, and the fact that now we
only lost 1 game.
Only lost 1 game
in La Liga.
We only lost 2 games this season
in all competitions.
In all competitions to the same team in the same stadium.
Well, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
That's insane.
They had Draw's number.
We beat them I ain't gonna say when it mattered, but in the Spanish Super Cup we beat them.
Yeah.
But that was in Saudi Arabia. We beat them in the semifinals. And that was a game that had to go into extra time to beat them.
Y'all got a chance to do something special this year. But yeah, Real Madrid, they could win it. They could win it. They're there. They've got I think they'd rather see. Would y'all rather see Bayern than PSG?
Yeah, but no, because at the same time, I feel like Madrid has that. What's that, like, that mentality of like, this is our league to lose, or this is our tournament, Champions League to lose, and it's like PSG they're the little brothers in the Champions League, but at the same time, this is one of the quote unquote worst Bayern Munich teams in years. Like, at least since I've been watching football, I haven't seen them play like in the league this bad. They've always won the league title.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, but no. But at the same time, I'd rather play Bayern Munich because it's the European Classico. Like, it's one of those matchups to where it's like, I want this matchup. It's one of the teams that we get up for to play. Like, when we get up to
European greatness.
Mm-hmm.
It's European greatness.
There's so much heritage in that matchup. It's the most played matchup between 2 teams in the Champions League.
Wow.
And they never met in the final, which is kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
But that's the most match. Like, that's the most played tie. So
wow.
So the fact
I think I did know that. Yeah, in the knockouts.
Yeah. So the fact that we got him again, it's kind of like it feels good. Like it's like this is what Champions League is about.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that. I think I have a flip side point to that is that if there's a team who's, and I get this is also more based around like not necessarily history, but just like it's they view it the same way in Bayern. It's our turn. Like this is a tournament that we were always capable of winning, no matter what. You know, they do have that mindset about it that Bayern PSG doesn't, have a reason to have. You know what I mean? They don't have that real credibility in the tournament like a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid does at all.
PSG, they just starting to come to the party. Just the same with Man City right before last year.
Yeah, I feel like Man City's on path to becoming like they're about to start being in the semifinal every year until Pep isn't there.
So the fact that it's Madrid and Bayern again, I made this point. I made a tweet. I was like, Madrid and Bayern give me the same vibes as of recently as Miami Heat versus Boston.
Yeah.
When it comes to the big three versus Braun, then the Heatles, and now since like 2020, they matched up like 4 times already.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum and the Heat.
And they've both stayed elite through the changes. So, you know what I mean? There's no Iron Robin and Frank Ribery and Ronaldo, you know what I'm saying, and Bale. But the teams are still...
They still find a way to make
star
these
power,
runs.
Yep, and make these runs. Exactly.
So if you want like an NBA equivalent, it's like Heat and Celtics in the playoffs. It's like Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. It's like one of those matchups that for a neutral is going to be a good watch.
Always.
And for me on a personal level, for the ones who like watched it, like 2012, that semifinal tie, that still stings. Like that's one of the few games that maybe shed a tear afterwards.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those games to where compared to the PSG Barca tie, when Barca was up on the aggregate score, the first game we lost 2-1 in Munich. The first leg. Second leg is in Madrid. It's the 2011-2012 Madrid team that had 100 points in the league.
Yep.
And one of the best versions of Ronaldo and Benzema. Like y'all want to call Benzema one season wonder, but he had like 30+ goals that year.
Yeah. He's had a few seasons like that.
And he wasn't even like the actual starter. It was him and Higuain. They was always rotating. And Higuain had like 20-some goals, 2 to go. If we had Ozil, Di Maria, Xavi, like that was one of the best teams to not win the Champions League. Back to the second leg, we go up 2-0 early, like 20 minutes into the game. We already up 2-0, so now we up 3-2 overall in aggregate. Jose Mourinho, I see what he was trying to do, but at the same time, it was like he went for a defensive approach.
Yeah.
Going up 2-0 early on at home.
Try to sit back.
Just trying to sit back and see out the game. Bayern score a goal. Now it's 3-3 aggregate. Goes into extra time. Goes to the penalty shootout. Our best 3 penalty kickers miss. Ronaldo missed, who actually scored a penalty early in the game. He missed in the shootout. Kaká missed.
Did he go the same way? Do you remember?
Nah, first penalty he went right.
In the game.
Neuer went left. Second penalty, both Neuer and Ronaldo went left.
Oh, wow.
Kaká went left. Neuer went left.
One of the best penalty savers ever. One of the best goalies ever.
One of the best goalies ever.
Really elite penalty saver.
And then Xabi Alonso scored a penalty. Casillas, one of the best goalies ever. He saved 2 penalty kicks in that shootout. Ramos, he skies it.
Oh, I remember this.
He skies it.
Yes.
And then Bastian Schweinsteiger scores his, sends Bayern to the final. Their final was in Munich that year when they played Chelsea, and they ended up losing to Chelsea. But that final was in Munich. But 2012 stings a lot to me.
They lost in Munich. That had to sting them.
Yeah, and the penalty shootout too. And so the fact that like
that one, I remember. I mean, obviously, I didn't watch that game live, but I remember like they make those little mini movies on YouTube that are like it's like a 15-minute video that basically explains that whole tie in a dramatic way.
So that for my like a personal point of view, that stings. So like I always like if we have a chance to play them and a chance to beat them, I always want that chance.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's why I'd rather play them compared to PSG.
For sure. I get that. I can see that.
In the PSG Dortmund tie, when they always play, it's always a good game to watch. Like it's always high octane. Yeah, they're gonna get goals
end to end game every time. I remember they played last year. I think they had a bunch of goals scored against each other. I will say, if you guys beat Bayern Munich, you gotta like your chances too.
You gotta like our chances. It's like I feel like we mentally, we're not losing our focus, but we beat Man City. Like
You beat the hardest opponent out there.
hardest opponent out there. And that was like, this is our
I
to
wish
our
I
top
wish
of-
that I wish it could have I wish y'all wouldn't have been able to play to the final again.
yeah. It's always the semis or the quarters.
Yeah.
We always meet them. And the fact that, like, we would either play PSG or Dortmund, it's always narratives on that side. Like, Mbappe, rumored to go to Madrid forever. His last game might be versus Madrid in the
I
Champions League
said
final.
again, you guys didn't play him in the final last year. The semifinal last year, right?
Yeah, City.
Yeah.
We played
Yeah,
City
2
in the
legs. You guys.
That was like, that's
you
like the
guys shoulda-
final.
You guys should have.
It's just that second leg, I don't even want to talk about it, but it was like, we wasn't there. I feel like our main mistake was,
Courtois was.
he saved, like, we should have lost.
He was
like,
there.
He should have lost like 8-0, to be honest. But our mistake was not starting Rudiger for that second leg when we lost 4-0. He had played the same way that we just saw, like the last 2 games against City. He played the same way last year in that first game. We tied 1-1 at home. He gets benched in the second leg.
That doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense. Like,
Doesn't make sense.
yeah, but the fact that we got over that, like, we beat the best team available. So it's like now we're the quote unquote best team available.
Yep. I like their chances. My money's on Real Madrid to win it all again.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be how many?
15. It'd be 6 since
Yeah, that's
6 in like in the last, I want to say 11 years.
That's insane. That's greatness. That's
Mhm.
greatness. Let's give our predictions. Let's get into these games then. Let's go. We're going to go specific. We got to give score predictions too.
Score prediction?
First game, Tuesday game.
Tuesday
You guys
game in Munich,
in Munich, 3:00.
3 o'clock. Usually, I want to go Madrid win, but I can truly see us like a
2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
I'm feeling that.
Because like Bayern's gonna be desperate,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be at home, and
You guys have this weird knack of letting the other team score first too. Sometimes
yeah,
this year.
early, and
It's
then we
happened
got
a few times this year, a handful.
and the
So I
fact,
would be I wouldn't be surprised if you 10th minute in Harry
Mhm.
Kane goal off a corner kick. Something
Mhm.
unexpected as hell.
So I could see I would like anything but a loss, of course.
Yeah, I don't think you guys lose.
I could see a 2-2
I
tie.
see a 1-1 or a 2-2.
To be realistic,
For
I would
sure.
want us to win, of course, but like I said, on the road, historically, we don't do good in Germany. Like,
Yeah.
we like got our first win in Munich 10 years ago.
Benzema and Ronaldo, like I feel like
Yeah, like that 2014 team.
Yeah.
And
in the semifinal or
Yeah. yeah, so I want to obviously my bias. I want to say Madrid's gonna win. Probably, I can see like my bias speaking. I can see like a 3-1 victory, but realistically, if we tied 2-2, like I'll take it.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1.
I think Rudiger will play obviously,
Mhm.
and it won't be as open ended at all.
No,
It'll be a
it'll be a chess match.
2-2. I think is actually a little bit more logical. I'm gonna go
Mhm.
2-2 is my final score prediction
Mm-hmm.
for the Tuesday game. What are you saying?
For Tuesday's game,
I think you want to say 3-2 at heart.
let's go 3-2 at heart.
I think
For the
that's
vibes, let's
I
go
think you
3-2.
think y'all are scoring 3 goals, and I wouldn't be surprised. German going 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going 2-2. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna react to that later on this coming week.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday game.
Wednesday game. It's at Dortmund, right?
Yep.
Dortmund. That crowd's gonna be rocking,
Rocking.
and
And they just put 4 on Atletico.
that's a great defensive team. PSG, it's an open like they can get goals on PSG. I want to see a Dortmund win.
I want to see a 2-1, and then I want to see
Like
PSG win 2-1 in
Yeah.
Paris. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I can see a Dortmund win. I wouldn't be surprised if Dortmund win.
I wouldn't at all. I think
Yeah.
you're not keeping Mbappe off the goal sheet. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Dortmund's defense is set up to keep Mbappe off from scoring.
PSG they would have to have, because the games against Barca when it was 11 men on the field, they wasn't really getting that many chances
Yeah.
outside like
Not clear cut.
not clear cut. Like they had to earn those
Yeah.
chances. But then once Araujo got the red card, it was just a matter of time. But if PSG wants to win this game, they will have to get more out of the other attackers, whom
Yeah, Dembele can't be skying shit over the goal.
And he
did he get a red card?
Who, Dembele? No, I don't think he did. But
or not a red, but
suspension, like
from
too
yellows.
Too many yellows. He might.
But
like if it's Marco Asensio starting or Dembele starting, like they will have to get more from them if they want to win. They can't just be
There's
Mbappe.
Not a lot of big injuries on either side. Hummels is out. Oh, Daniel Malin is out. Sebastian Haller,
he's out.
Oh, wow. Ben Sibiani is out as well. Okay, damn, I didn't realize it was this bad. These are. I don't technically know how many of these guys start, but I know all these names, so they're all players that play. And then Kimpembe.
Malin and Haller,
Kurzawa is out for PSG, and then Kimpembe, he's been out because he's Achilles. Sergio Rico, I don't know who that is.
Goalkeeper. He had like an outside injury. I think it was like horseback riding.
It says head injury out for the season.
Yeah, I think he got hurt horseback riding, and it was like one of those scary injuries. Like
there's been a lot. The one thing about Borussia Dortmund, they spread the wealth. Nobody is eating only for Borussia Dortmund. Like they multiple players with 2 goals in the Champions League so far for them.
It's opposite of PSG.
Opposite, and a team that defends as a unit like Borussia has so far in the games we've seen. They were sound against Atletico in that last game. They were not allowing clear-cut chances in. You know what I mean?
And they scored their own goal. Like they won 4-2, but Atletico only scored.
They earned one real goal. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to gauge because I don't really know how dangerous Borussia Dortmund can be against a Hakimi and a Mendes. Guys who can really get back quick.
But since it's the first leg, I feel like PSG, they're not going.
Neither one's going to go.
Go out and go for it.
If you're a better under 1.5 goals for the first half of that game, I think is a safe bet.
I do expect Dortmund to come out the first 10-15 minutes, trying to get that.
Trying to. I think, they. I don't know. It's tough. They're even too.
Mm-hmm.
They're really even. In what we've seen so far in the Champions League.
It's probably gonna be a game or an overall tie. Like not a tie in the game, but the overall 2 games. Like the coaching. It's gonna be big.
It's gonna come down to the coaching for sure.
And if it comes down to coaching, I'm gonna side with Luis Enrique and PSG. But that first game, let's go Dortmund win.
I can see a Dortmund 2-1 win in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
I could very much see that. I could also see I wouldn't be surprised at a PSG 3-0 win.
Right.
With an Mbappe 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I would not be surprised at all. He hasn't had like a true crazy performance like that.
Not this year
in the Champions League this year.
No, he's been pretty chill. Overall, it's his highest scoring season. And one of the less he hasn't played that much. Like Luis Enrique's been subbing him off early in games, like halftime, 60th minute.
Oh well, he had 2 against us,
but that was 10 men.
Yeah,
one was a penalty. Yeah, one was
a pen. Yeah,
one was a late minute goal. So he will have to have one of those Mbappe performances, like we see in the World Cup.
Yeah, that would be a must.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'm right there with you. I think at the end of I don't even want to go into second leg. We're not gonna give our predictions on who makes it out of these ties yet, right? We don't need to give up.
We'll just do first leg.
Yeah, we'll just do the first leg. Let you all think about that. Comment below what you think. If you think we're wrong, if we're crazy, if it's gonna be a Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund final easily, both teams. Let us know what you think. We want to hear from you guys. We're just 2 guys. We're just 2 fans. We're just 2 soccer fans trying to figure it out ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But Jerm, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you talking with us.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Jerm is a Real Madrid fan. He's going to be a personality on this show for the foreseeable future. And we're gonna keep getting this content out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that?
What I think of it?
You ready?
I can't wait. Let's
you
get
ready?
to it.
Let's get to it. Appreciate you guys. It's Reel Spiel Podcast. Roman and Jerm here. We'll see you.